Today I'm going to show you how to wrap your bars in new tape. You only need 4 things to refresh that manky old tape on your handlebars. All you need is some electrical tape, some decent sharp scissors, some new bar tape and a clean pair of hands. Inside your box of tape you'll usually get a few things. Obviously you'll get 2 rolls of tape and they should come with bar plugs. You'll get 2 little strips here, sometimes called cheek strips. They'll cover the clamps from your brake and gear levers. We're not going to use those in the method that we're going to show you today. We're going to wrap the tape in a figure of 8 configuration, so they're not required. If you've got CamPag levers, you may find it easier if you do use these. Then you'll also get these logoed sticky strips designed for finishing off the end of the tape on the tops. We're not going to use these either. The electrical tape which we will use has more elasticity and it creates a better finish. The first part, and my least favourite part, especially if the tape's a bit on the manky side, is to remove the old stuff. So the finishing part of the tape should be underneath if the last person did their job correctly. And we're just going to unravel the old tape from the bar. If the tape isn't too sticky, you might even get away with reusing it on another bike. When you get to the end, pop out the bar plug. Before we retape the bars, just make sure they're good and clean and that the cables are taped securely. I like to run electrical tape all the way from the shifter to about 4 fingers in from the stem. This holds the cables in really securely, gives a good feel to the brakes as well because they're not able to expand. Just make sure that your levers are in the correct place. Obviously after you've taped it's going to be tricky to move them. Adhesive tape like this Pro logo stuff we have here, we'll have a paper cover to the adhesive strip. It's easiest just to rip that off and get rid of it. Now we always wrap towards the outside of the bar. Some people wrap in different directions, see what works for you, but generally if you've secured either end properly it isn't going to unravel on you. You weigh your tape out before it comes undone. So the first bit is crucial. You need a good overlap because you're going to tuck this into the bar with a bar plug. So hold it tight. And your first wrap can be quite tight. With this tape anyway, it's quite stretchy and it will take a fair bit of force. And then we're just wrapping round and round the bar, keeping an even pressure as we go and keeping an equal distance between the tape on each wrap, just for a neat finish. And follow that up towards the shifter, and here is where we're going to do our figure of 8. So we're going to come back around, but instead of going around the bottom of the bar we're going to go over the top of the shifter and then back round like so, and then we can continue to wrap the rest of the bar. Keep the tension even and try and keep those gaps between the edges of the tape the same all the way around. Now one thing I should say before you start wrapping your tape is make sure that you've got everything that you need to hand. So when you get to the top you're going to need your scissors and your electrical tape. Generally speaking, 3 fingers is what you're aiming at for the distance between the stem and the end of the tape, and it's when we get here that we're going to cut the tape and fit the electrical tape to secure it into position. Okay, so now we're about 3 fingers in, we're going to cut the tape. It's really important that you cut this in the right direction. So we're going to cut this side of the tape, we're going to cut it so it's straight. We'll have a nice edge to finish on. Once you've cut it, wrap it round. You should have a nice edge. Grab your electrical tape and secure it in place. Now your first wrap of tape, I'd suggest you pull it pretty tight. This really helps to secure it, and as you pull it, it makes the tape thinner, so it's less likely to stick out either side of your final couple of wraps. Now you can either tape it right up to the edge or give it a little overlap, it's up to you. Give it a few wraps, and your last wrap doesn't need to be pulled particularly tight. It will help stop it unravelling. And finish it under the bar. Give it a good stick down. Now pop your hood back into place, making sure that there's no visible parts of the bar or the shifter. Final step is to fit your end plug. So fold the excess material in, nice and tight so it's nice and neat. Make sure your plug has the logo the right way around. You may as well get it right. It's a little stopwatch on the Pro logo, so it sits like that. Give it a good whack, and there you are. Nice neat finish to your tape. Moving on to the left hand side of the bike, I'm just going to show you a couple of things again, and just to show you how this side differs. Now we're wrapping again to the outside of the bike, so they'll be symmetrical. So you're going in an opposite direction from a rider's perspective. With this particular tape as well, because it has a logo on one side, you'll find that you're starting from the inside of the roll rather than the end of the roll. So bear that in mind. So first part, got a good bit of overhang, pulling it nice and tight. And that's our starting point. And we're going to the outside of the bar. Just going to show you the figure of 8 one more time. So we go around the back of the bar, over the shifter, and then back round again in the figure of 8 formation. And then we just carry on taking the bar. Make sure that your tape isn't crinkled and you've covered up as much of the shifter of the bar as possible. You should find when the hood goes back, that's all covered up nicely, like so. So that's that done, all nice and even. Nice equal gap along the top and even spacing between each wrap. Plugs are in there nice and secure, and no gaps by your hoods. All looking good, ready to hit the road. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.